So, back to our discussion.
Oh, fuck.
I'm trying not to lose the momentum.
No, that was just very funny. So.
Well, no, there are things about Donald Trump when he was president that I didn't like. He was the first president in my memory.
Okay.
Clinton did it, but he's the first president in my time of being able to be cognitive of it.
Understand.
Yeah. He's the only one to outright ban something
Okay, what was it?
affiliated with the Second Amendment, the bump stocks.
Okay.
Outright ban something
About guns.
affiliated with the right to bear arms. Yeah.
Why do you feel like he did that?
I feel like he was pressured and he needed to make a decision that would do something. So he banned something that was innocuous that a lot of people didn't use. There weren't a whole lot of them in use. It wasn't like a huge thing in the industry. It was like, people don't really have a whole lot of these anyways.
Okay.
Let me just do this to please.
Well, but
that
who
side.
has them?
There was a few, not millions like there are with other things, but there was
Right, but if 10 people have really, really bad things, it's a really big problem.
It was an attachment, much like in.
No, I understand, but what does it do?
It gives the ability for the gun to slide back and forth.
What does that do? Why is that beneficial?
Not really. It's just fun. You do it with a rubber band.
Okay.
I've done it with belt loose rubber bands called bump
Well, that
fire.
seems. I don't think you should MacGyver a gun with a rubber band.
People did it for years, and some guy came up with the idea to make a device that does it.
Yes.
And then his device got
I made
banned.
a lot of money doing that.
Kind of. People didn't buy them. They were expensive and not practical to use.
Oh, so they're yeah. Okay.
It wasn't like a great, advanced, useful thing.
But he banned that, and you didn't like the fact that he banned it because you.
Yeah, I
believe
just
in
found it
rights.
odd that, granted, the Supreme Court was more on the left side during his presidency until he appointed new judges.
Okay.
So I can see why once that hit Supreme Court that it got banned. But at the same time, the fact that he even initiated that and signed off on that was like, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, you have a concealed license. You carry, allegedly, right? You own guns. You've talked about it. You've shown them on TV, right? But
yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're going to be a diehard supporter of freedoms.
Right.
So there were downsides to a lot of what he did, but I feel like the few things from my perspective that I saw him as downsides were far outweighed by the good that he did. He made friends, or at least kept peace, and was the first president in U.S. history to go across the North Korea border.
What do you make of that relationship?
With Kim Jong-un?
What do you make of that? Have you seen videos of them together and stuff?
I think it's ballin' that he took that wee little man as who he was and who he's been portrayed by. I don't know what their news portrays him as in North Korea. I'll never know. A lot of us won't.
Okay.
But I can imagine it wasn't great.
The
North Korean government that controls their media over there, how they portray Donald Trump based off of U.S. footage of news outlets and shit.
Yeah, but the U.S.'s news, if you go anywhere else in the world, you realize that the U.S.'s news is fucking pretty unique.
Right.
I mean, it's not, other news is not always, our news is very specific and has a very specific goal, and
Ron Burgundy nailed it.
Dude, Fox News was charged with, their defense was that they're not a news they were charged with something, and their defense was we're for entertainment. We're not a news organization. And by the way, all the other ones follow suit since then. That's just a precedent that was set. And then they all fell to the same thing, which is the need for, it's just everything's it's just everything's sensationalized.
Yeah.
Which I know has been said.
Ron Burgundy said that. Why don't we just tell the people what they want to hear?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
What part of the movie?
The
the rest of the scene.
when they're sitting around the table doing their meeting.
Okay.
And he's like, man, people really like that bit about the cute kittens or the funny whatever. And he's just sitting there nonchalant. He's like, why don't we stop telling people what they need to hear and tell them what they want to hear?
Was this a big moment in the movie?
Yeah, and he's like, and his editor was like, wait, say that again? He's like, what? Why don't we just start telling the people what they want to hear? And they're like, dude. And then he started coming out with funny bits and cute things and this and that.
It's so funny to all. This is okay. Let's have
It completely restructured news.
Okay, let's have the same moment happen with our show. Instead of let's make this something people want to listen to. You know what I mean?
I think it is.
I'm not saying it isn't.
It's somewhat singular.
I'm not saying it isn't.
The podcasts that I watch are usually. The thing about podcasts actually is there's so many of them.
Yeah.
You can just pick one for whatever topic.
Yes.
I don't really see a whole lot that are really broad, and the ones that are just talk about news stuff. They're like, oh, I
They
saw
talk
this
about
thing.
well because they post all the time. So a lot of the way to keep doing that is to talk about daily updates because that's
what's new, what's current.
That's
what's,
predictable. You can predict on another day happening and more shit happening in the world that you could talk about.
Right.
So you have continued.
And I don't watch those guys as much because they're not as singular. If I want to watch a reloading podcast, I go watch the Vortex Nation podcast. If I want
reloading podcast.
yeah,
What do you
where
mean?
guys talk about ballistics and bullets and hunting and
Okay.
loading
And this is for learning or for enjoyment?
both. I like to see new cartridges that are come out and they sit down and discuss them with experts or the designer developer of that and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And they're cool guys to talk. They're knowledgeable guys.
Sure.
And I like watching podcasts to see how they're structured, what their layout is, where their
Right.
cameras are placed.
Now that we're trying to make
how
one
they're
and stuff.
cutting to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's fun to do.
with us, I think it's just so we're like Walmart, man. We're so we got a little bit of everything. I feel like
Okay.
because we can get deep into these hypotheticals or these feelings based or these political stuff
Sure.
or constitutional stuff, and then we can goof around and do golf clash and burp and fart and snort and all this shit.
Which I will reiterate I've never done. Reiterate?
reiterate. Nice.
Google that. Put that in our dictionary of words that we have.
Britlin's
to
gonna
Google.
love that one.
Yeah, great. Reiterate.
Reiterate. You know.
Let me reiterate the fact that I've never snorted anything because we talked about me doing coke earlier, which I never have, and I wanted to reiterate
Snort
that.
sounds, not snorting.
I know, but I was trying to make that joke.
Like hitting second gear.
Yeah,
But
dude, yeah, she hit third gear. I'm glad we thought of that. That's what made us think of that hair is that she did. She skipped because I told her about that bit that we have that sometimes I'll hit second gear on my laugh here. And we always are like, hey, second gear. You're always sitting over there like, you're so funny. It's the same feeling that you got when that video that we watched when you made that shot out of the put the heat on me for 20. When you made that shot, when you go, thanks, and then you go,
Thanks.
and then I say the good thing again. I go, nice shot, like fucking A, dude, nice shot. And then you go, thank you. That energy that you have in that moment of you sitting there, you're blurred in the video, which I actually love. I'm taking this over for just a second because I want to talk about this. There's that moment where it's blurred because the focus was on my phone for the shot.
You're like, I know how to focus it.
I
And
know.
then spent the whole time focusing it.
I know. I know. I gotta not talk when I go up to that camera, but it's blurred. But I can see, even though it's blurred and stuff, I can feel and see the energy of you just being so like, you're just sitting over there like, just so like giddy. Like that's what I'd maybe describe it as is giddy, you know. And it's so funny because what was I talking about just now? Because it made me think of that.
Third gear. Telling
Oh,
Natalie about it.
it's anytime you go second gear when you make me you make me laugh and then I hit second gear. You sit out that God, yes, you did remember because that was what it was.
Second
is your
gear.
is the way you say second gear just so like just reaffirmed. That's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm saying a nice thing like this. I hope that this sounds nice because what I'm saying is like that's cool. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's funny to see you. Like it's funny to see you as somebody who's so like talks about being a man and like being an adult, like that's taking all responsibilities and all these things. Also have the kid in you that's just like, I made him laugh, or like, I made the shot. Like just it's funny because like everybody has that. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what we're trying
That's
to.
that's my
yeah.
point, dude. That's the whole.
It's a full
point.
embodiment of stand-up blade.
That's exactly the whole point.
Goofing off in your expensive ass tech basement
like
with
no
your
matter
buddy.
how.
Gonna order Grubhub Mickey D's in a minute.
Yeah, no matter how serious people try to take themselves, everybody has silliness in them, I think. That's really, wow, that's beautiful. I felt good about the way that sounded.
Yeah.
Like, some people feel like they take themselves so seriously, and some people do that as like a defense, or they feel like they need to, and some people do really need to, and it's important.
Some
I'm not
people are
saying-
just Neanderthals and they can't really express other things too.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying, like...
It's a real thing, right?
Right, maybe. I'm just saying, like, it's just everybody has, like... Silliness is like a universal language, dude. The night that I was in Italy with those two, with the twin girls, I
Was that both times you had anal?
no. I didn't even hold hands with either of them.
Was it in Amsterdam? Oh, you said Italy.
It was I meant whatever. We'll talk about that in a minute. The whole point is that they spoke better English than they admitted. Like everybody feels like they don't speak as good of English. Like they're insecure about how.
They did way better than they let on.
Yeah, no, they just feel insecure about it. Everybody in Europe feels insecure about their English, but it's really good. You know what I'm saying? And that's interesting. My point is that they were, but so we could talk about some stuff or whatever, but not everything. But we just had a good time talking. We were being silly, and I remember that the thing that we connected on was being silly, and they liked that word. I don't know if they didn't have that word or they didn't know it yet or something. But I was describing to them what it means to be silly and how I was having so much fun. Like, I don't know. I think I just said it, and they like asked me about it or whatever.
What means this silly?
No, yeah, no, but it was like
Sicily. That's still in Italy.
No, it really was. It was like what we connected on, and I remember that when I posted that picture on Instagram, we could go find it later. One of them said like something about silly, like something about being silly in the comment, and I remember being like, wow, dude, like that's
resonated with these chicks.
It's just what that made me think of just now.
It's a universal language.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's what made me think of just now. That was
you watch videos of kids in Africa. They're always smiling and laughing.
I didn't
It's
tell
all
that
they want to
story
do
very
is
well.
have fun.
Yeah.
That's all people want to do is have fun.
Yes.
It provides so many good
It's just
feelings, and it's a relief, and it doesn't happen very often.
like
and they just seek it.
I like the idea of being a place, digitally at least for people, to allow themselves the indulgence of being silly. Do you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds silly.
It sounds feminine.
Yeah.
Second gear. Breathe, my man.
That's what I'm talking about. That was so good, dude. That was as good as fucking...
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that was just as good. That was literally just as good. I literally can't even see. I'm like, the lights are blurred. Yeah, find it. Are we confident?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hell yeah,
Arnold
brother.
Schwarzenegger.
Dude, that was just as good. We gotta make that a fucking... we gotta make that a button. It sounds feminine.
It sounds feminine.
As the Hall of Fame. We need to have a Hall of Fame page in our buttons. Because, dude, that's in the Hall of Fame because my whole point of this is that the reason it's fun, it's nice and, like, beautiful to see you be silly in these moments is because of the fact that, like...
I'm a pretty silly
you
guy.
take things... Well, just that you do take a lot of the parts of yourself pretty seriously. In a good way, in a beneficial way. Yeah, sorry. You gotta remind me.
It's like we have a stand, you know?
I know,
so
but
it
I like...
stays there.
Okay, I'll do this for the audio. Okay. God, that sounds so much better already.
Yeah, a little bit.
Fuck.
Yeah, post Daniels.
Everybody, I don't care, dude. I'm crying and we're posting it. I don't give a fuck. It's nice. I'm having
I'm
a
gonna have
good
to get
time.
Charlie Day to do a voiceover for Michael.
Here's my point, not Charlie Day. Here's my point. Is that what they said? Is that the person that she said I sounded like? Yeah, fuck. God damn it. He's funny though. I like him. Okay, here's my point.
Well, looks aren't everything.
No, here's my point. Is that the reason that it sounds feminine was so good. Let me really break this down. Please give me a little bit of time to talk about this.
Yeah, we got 7
I
minutes.
love it.
20 seconds.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. The reason that was so good is because my whole point of this originally is that I like the giddiness, the childlike, like just, I don't know, whatever that feeling is. You know what I mean? That childlike feeling, I like.
Tingling in your ball sensation.
Yeah, I like.
Sure, it's not testicular cancer.
I like that you can see that happens when I notice. I like it. I like when that happens for people. And I noticed that it happened when you hit that, when you made that shot, and then when you make me hit second gear, and you just go second gear, and that just like, fuck yeah, like, yes, like just reaffirm something about me that I feel good about. Like, just hell yeah, you know? Because that's a great feeling. And it's like...
To be silly.
Yeah, well, just the reason that, for you specifically, that I like that so much is because it's the antithesis a lot of times of other personality traits that you take very seriously. That's why this feels like an indulgence and not... If this was every day, it's not an indulgence anymore.
Have you seen the movie Tangled?
I haven't.
The big buff... Oh, there's a big giant buff guy in the Lucky Ducky, I think is the name of the bar.
Okay.
It's like super like biker bar, right?
Okay.
And he's like this super masculine, deep voice and
Gotcha.
everything. And then he turns into like this little marshmallow and he's talking to Rapunzel.
Okay.
He's like, go, find your dream. She's like, I will. And then the guy's like, I will. He's like, not you. Your dream stinks. I was talking to her.
Uh-huh.
And like he becomes like from this giant masculine guy, he's like super soft and super tender and hilarious.
Okay.
Is what you're the point you're getting at.
The dichotomy of those two.
When
I thought
they-
there was a punchline to that there was going to be a
Big
line.
dude
that you were
walks
gonna-
up and he rips a fart and makes a joke about it or something. Pull
Yeah.
my finger.
Is that what he does?
No, but like that's what you're trying to get at.
No,
is,
what I know what I'm trying to get. You get out of
It's
the way
like-
a little bit.
it's
right
like
there.
there's beast
I thought there was
mode.
at least a
there's
punchline.
beast mode, right? There's
I just
reality, and then there's duality.
The nice
right?
thing, I have no idea. I don't speak that language. I talk like this. the reason.
I'll just shut up.
The thing I like about being I like the word silly specifically more than other words because it feels like a very specific kind of feeling in that it is indulgent in a way that where it's not something you can even do all the time. It's like sometimes kind of a gift that falls on you. The fact that It's Feminine fell on us in the middle of a recording is very cool. It didn't happen last time that we did the fucking when Arnold Schwarzenegger happened. And that was part of the reason that we wanted to record all the time is in case an Arnold Schwarzenegger happened. And it fucking happened, dude. And you're 2-0, by the way. And that's bullshit. And I got to get you back for that. But the point is and remains... The point remains. That should be part 2 is the point remains because I get distracted again.
Point is?
I get distracted again even though I'm coming back from it. Fuck, that's so... Oh, God, I couldn't even finish the word funny. I ran out of air. Shout out to Jordan Sparks and Chris
Silly
Brown.
to me is a grown-up way of being goofy.
Okay.
Goofy to me is kind of annoying.
Okay. Really?
Silly, yeah. But when you say goofy, something usually means like that's going to be annoying.
Oh, I don't...
Like you're
okay.
being goofy right now.
Wow, I disagree. That sounds... I think of it in a nice way.
Silly to me
It's the
sounds
closest word to silly, but it's not the same thing.
yeah, goofy is more of a verb,
Okay.
I think. Like you're acting,
What you
it's
do.
it's like movement, like you're being goofy.
Okay.
Versus being silly could just be speech in my mind.
But speech is like a...
Right. But if you're
Act.
if you're fucking jumping up and down acting like a goof
Okay.
versus sitting here being silly,
Right. Okay.
did that help kind of clarify it a little bit?
I guess I feel differently about it, but it helped clarify what you
Yeah.
mean about the difference.
Okay.
My point is that
Nuanced conversations.
yeah, it's just that silly, whatever. The point is that
The point
the
remains.
reason that was so fucking funny is because there is some level of probably masculinity specifically, at least in my understanding of your relationship between silliness and normal life. You do seem to be willing to let the masculinity part of things go sometimes for the sake of being silly in this environment.
I've told you and I've told my wife before, I will do anything to make that woman smile. And that translates into other walks of my life. I will
Right.
do anything.
Right.
Regardless of how stupid, silly, goofy, dumb, retarded,
Okay.
corny,
Cut that part out?
cheesy, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I will do anything to make that woman smile.
Yeah.
And that translates into other areas of my life because I'm
Yes.
always seeking a smile.
Right.
Ergo, I'm trying to seek
Should
that.
I wear a mask of her to...
I'm
Should I?
be-
Talking about deepfake.
Deepfake.
Talking about deepfake. You edit me out of this whole podcast. It's just it's just her face on me the whole time. I just fuck. That's so funny.
I could probably do 2 of her faces.
Because I got a big head. Is that what it was? Is that what it was?
You got it.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Give me the credit quicker. Why do you go eat?
Why the fuck would he say
No,
that?
see, I shouldn't have made you. I shouldn't have done it with the button the first time.
In there with the
Because
butt.
then you get the.
I'm wondering if the battery died before we finished our last footage. I'm hoping not.
Oh, I don't know.
Rats.
That's okay. It's okay. We're doing our best.
I know.
Rocky Road, part
this
2.
is going to end in like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
So, Grubhub after that?
Are you serious? Grubhub and McDonald's?
Of course I'm serious. I mentioned it 18 times.
It's really honest about that.
You can't just throw him out in the snow. Why not? He loves the
Okay,
snow. He's
you
told
have
me
good
16
experiences
times.
with Grubhub Premium getting here quickly and the food being fresh enough because McDonald's goes bad like immediately.
It comes right from McDonald's to here. Like
So
as
just
fa-
as quickly as you would, except
as
for they
just
might
as
drive
fa-
safer.
Just as fast as when we get back and eat it down here, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they usually have little heaty bags, so it's actually better
Really?
if McDonald's doesn't fuck the order up.
Right, but they could fuck the order up if it was us.
Right, but we could go in or go back to the drive-thru and
I would probably
throw it at them and say,
Yeah, see, this
"Do
is
it
what I-
again."
Stupid. So dumb.
I canceled Grubhub Premium, or excuse me, DoorDash Premium for a while because every time my food would get screwed up, I would send pictures and fill out my little form that you have to do for when the order getting messed up, and they stopped refunding me. Like an entire $14 item on the menu would not show up, and I'm like, "I want my money back."
Yeah, definitely.
And then they ended up not refunding me like 3 times in a row. I'm like, I'm canceling this shit. I'm paying $10 a
Yeah.
month for nothing.
Yeah, that's a bummer, huh? It's nice when you have a good. It's nice when you have a good customer service experience. And when we're done with this, I'd like to talk about that in the next video. I'd like to talk about your vaping habits and
Should all vape kids is good for you.
customer service experiences. Let's make an ad for vaping tonight.
Part of the
We
problem.
got 4 more seconds. 3, 2, and we're done.